Good morning, guys. Today I wanted to have a chat with you about hopes and dreams and whatnot. And pardon the lighting, it's kind of a gloomy day outside, a little rainy, which is good for all growing things. But lighting not so good. So hopefully you can see me. But something I want to talk about is I have really bad anxiety and depression. For the last 3 years, I had gone through a whole bunch of stuff right before that. Maybe it's been 4 years. I don't know. It's been several years. And I went through a really, really hard time. And it really triggered my anxiety and it heightened everything. It made my... I just went into a spiral. And after it was over, I spent quite a while in a depression. I gave up on all my hopes and all my dreams. I didn't see the point in doing a lot of things. So, pardon me. I just spent a lot of time not caring, and not wanting to do anything, to have any purpose. I had no purpose. I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't work on anything. I'm a writer too. I've not been able to write anything this entire time. Well, I recently, and some happy thoughts so I can not almost break down. I recently discovered an old dream that I had and the possibilities of it. And that's why I've made a lot of changes to our YouTube channel, is because I have a dream again. And my dream is to have a place in the country where I can modern day homestead, so to speak, where we can have chickens and rabbits and plants and gardens and an orchard, and have I'm not going to say a simpler life. I've touched on this before. Again, I don't mean, back 1800s necessarily, but a lot of those skills, which I do have. I was raised in a family where they lived in the holler of Kentucky, or a holler in Kentucky. So a lot of those old-fashioned ways and skills I did get to learn somewhat while I was with my family. So I know a lot of that stuff, and I'm learning a lot of that stuff. I'm teaching myself stuff all the time because I'm excited again. And so hopefully Spencer and I have been looking at some cabins or sheds or whatever you want to call them, because I really want to do a cabin, and we're going to buy the outer shell and then customize the inside ourselves to what we want and what we need. Because really for the last several years we've kind of been living, we've been living with John and his family, and we've basically been living in a mini house inside of a house. So it's kind of like we're used to that. And Spencer is a gamer, and we've been married now 5 years, and I don't want to change him in that aspect. I love him for who he is, but he is a gamer. So getting him off of the video games is sometimes difficult, but he does help out a lot when I ask him. So he's very, very good about that. But he was worried when I started talking about doing this, and it's like, no, I don't want to change it. I don't want it so there's no electricity, so you can't play your games. That's not it. And I started explaining it to him, and we started looking at cabins and large sheds, because we're looking at a 16 by 40 or 16 by 42. I started explaining a lot of stuff to him. So it took a little bit of discussion, but he's on board. He understands, and he appreciates that I'm no longer depressed. I have a goal and a vision, and something I really, really want to do, and he's behind me on that, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, so it feels nice, because since our big sale and our tractor and engine show, I've been working non-stop on learning these skills and stuff, and I've been canning and preserving and all of that, getting into the gardening, getting things ready. We got a storage unit, put a lot of our stuff in a storage unit. And then as we come across stuff that we know we'll need on the homestead, we've been getting it when we can, if we can, so that we can prepare. I know you can't prepare for everything, but we at least want to have some things kind of purchased and out of the way, or taken care of and out of the way, so that way when it happens, hopefully things can be a little bit easier. So yeah, we're not sure. We think, because John and Ashley also want to move to the country, not for the same reasons I do, but they want to move to the country, so we're hoping still that we can kind of all live on the same property, just in different, like their house and our tiny house or cabin, so that it's easier for me to take care of the baby, and plus, to us, they're family, so it would be nice to have them nearby. And, it would probably be better for everybody just with our own spaces, but, everybody nearby. And so we're hoping that we can find a piece of property like that. The only thing that concerns me is the kind of being told what to do. And I know that one of their reasons for wanting to move in the country is so that no one will tell them what they can or can't do. In theory, like in town, you can and can't do certain things, and plus living with his dad, things have gotten a little stricter or a little more complicated than when it was just the four of us living together. It was a little more free. So now to do things, we definitely have to ask permission, like even in wanting to put up a clothesline to help with costs on electricity and all of that stuff, but also somewhere to hang rugs, because you don't want to put a rug in a dryer. And his dad, I don't think he's up for it, which I understand. It's good. It's his property. It's no problem. I'm not angry or upset about that. It's not my whatever, but it's just a matter of, in your own space, your own place, you wouldn't have to necessarily ask those questions or permission, I guess. I'm 42 years old, and the idea coming to me of having to ask permission to do a lot of things is kind of frustrating. We'll just say that, frustrating. So hopefully, if we all move together onto a property, again, the idea of that being that they wouldn't have to worry about asking stuff. Well, I don't want to have to do that constantly either. I would like a little bit of the freedom that, gardening, putting a garden where I want to put a garden, or, having an orchard or things like that. And John and Ashley and me and Spencer have lived together for quite a while now, so generally we work together pretty well. So I'm not too worried about it. But we'll see what happens. But the whole idea, though, has me excited, has me feeling good about myself, and about life in general. And yeah, so I hope things don't, it's the proverbial shoe, waiting for the other shoe to drop. I get afraid because, again, been through a lot lately. So I get afraid for a shoe to drop. But we're not there yet. It hasn't happened yet. So at the moment, I'm happy, I'm hopeful, I have goals and dreams again, and it feels pretty good. So I just wanted to take a minute and talk to all of y'all about it. And yeah, so we're feeling pretty good. And that's why we are now called Fox Holler Farm. I had to think about it for a minute. Because that's the goal, that's the dream, that's where I'm headed. So, well, thank you for listening. I appreciate all of the subscribers we have. And if you're not, then please subscribe. It really will help us out. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.